Hi, before we start this interview, I'm delighted to announce that the A.D.K rock and metal channel is actually going to be expanding into music promotion. And we are delighted to announce that our first three live showcases are going to be happening very soon. We're going to be hosting musical events at the 6 Bar in Cambridge, and we'd love you to come and join us and support these bands. Our aim is to really just find and discover and give a platform to the finest rock and metal bands in England and the wider UK. We're going to be predominantly basing the live venues in Hertfordshire, Cambridgeshire, and Bedfordshire, and perhaps other parts of the Greater London area.
The first event will take place at the 6 Bar in Cambridge, and that's going to be on the Thursday, the 18th of July. And we're going to be starting with two bands close to home. We're actually going to have Dave's band Telescribe headlining the event, supported by the return of Nomadic Rain, of course, that is Andy's band, of which he is the rhythm guitar player. And they're going to be supported by another local band called Debris, who play an interesting mix of gothic, grunge, and even a bit of nu metal in there. So come on down on the 18th of July to see the Telescribe headline show for the inaugural showcase of A.D.K Presents. The second event will take place on Thursday the 25th of July. Again, that's at the 6 Bar, and this is going to be headlined by Cambridge progressive metalcore heroes Far From Refuge, who will also be launching the new EP, and support comes from the Hertfordshire death grind band Extreme Death Art and the Cambridge power metal meets groove metal act Hereward. The third show in the calendar takes place on Friday the 27th of September, and that's going to be headlined by the hard-rocking groove metal band Lowdown, with support coming from Struck Down, Broken Calling, and Before the Sirens. And that takes place also at the 6 Bar in Cambridge. You can already pre-order your tickets. Just go to the A.D.K Rock and Metal Facebook page and you'll see the link in there.
Okay, let's go to tonight's interview with Throwing Bricks and Ontaard. Hi there, my name is Kirk. It's the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel, and tonight's feature is quite unique. We're joined by two bands from Utrecht in the Netherlands. And first we've got Jordi van Putten, the bass player from the hardcore post-metal traumatic metal band Throwing Bricks. And also from the band Ontaard, we have got Shira van der Wouden, who's the vocalist. And then we've also got Jeroen van Kersveld, the guitar player.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, shout out to the pronunciations.
Yeah, really good.
Because I learned a bit of German, so I assume that the pronunciation, other than the "ha," is probably similar.
Yeah.
So, how are you doing anyway? What have you been up to today?
Well, we didn't have a holiday, so I was just working today.
Yeah, and now it's really rainy outside. It was quite nice, but it's a nice evening to sit inside with a cup of tea and have a chat.
Very English.
Yeah, it's very English weather today.
What about you, Jeroen? Where are you in Utrecht as well? You all live in Utrecht, I imagine.
I used to live in Utrecht, but since 4 months, I actually bought a house in Zeist, which is like 6 kilometers out of Utrecht, and I've been working from home today in the morning, and then the rest of the day I was off, and I did a bit of reading. It was a very casual, laid-back day.
Do you have a housing crisis in the Netherlands like we do in England?
Yeah, we
Definitely,
do.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's a way too small country for really much people, way too much people. So yeah, there's a housing crisis.
No, the cost of rent is exorbitant
Insane.
in England. I mean, I live in a bedsit, and even just the rent, so I don't even have my own bathroom or kitchen, and the rent is £600 per month. That's just for one room. I think it's because it's on the commuter belt to London, because I live on the outskirts of London.
Yeah.
So that's just, we've just become used to it, haven't we? Anyway, sorry, I don't want to.
Yeah, you're kind of forced to, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So congratulations, Jeroen. You bought a house. That's what's
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a miracle, but it's only because I'm married, and So I think if you're single, it's impossible to get a house
Yeah.
nowadays.
That's probably what it is then. So can I start with the origins of this collaboration? So I've done my research. The Throwing Bricks guitarist Marius Prinz recorded and mixed the 2022 debut Ontaard EP. So when and where did the idea for a joint record come together for what we now know as this April 2024 EP, Utsir?
I think it was kind of logical for us because we both used to rehearse in a place called the Daybase, which is kind of the home center for most bands in Utrecht. And we've been friends from like for years.
Yeah.
Jeroen and I used to live together. Obviously, Shir and I live together right now. And I think the idea came from Ontaard writing a few more doomy songs, and we were writing a few more black metal kind of songs. So we were kind of
meeting each other.
Yeah, kind of meeting each other halfway, and then we had the idea to like do a split together, but in the end we kind of wrote different songs for it. So it wasn't really like black metal versus doom anyhow, but that's how it started.
Yeah. I think it's very obvious where the EP splits between Throwing Bricks and Ontaard.
It wasn't to me, because when I first listened to a record, I listen to it when I'm out walking. So I think there's great coherence to this record, and I didn't know where the split was.
Oh, sick.
Probably because I wasn't looking for it. You know, I just wanted to listen
nice.
to the EP in chronological order, get a feel for it. And even the second time, it's only at the third time where I'll sit down, take note of the song titles, and write up notes, and then do a review. So, yeah, that actually wasn't obvious to me. Although I must say, track number 1 does have some monstrous death metal riffs in there. I wouldn't even call them black metal. You know, that beautiful
It's
guitar
Marius all the way.
arpeggio, and then it goes really heavy. I was like, whoa, what's the problem?
Yeah, thanks. It's I think our first touch on death metal, and I can assure you there's more where that came from.
Yeah, the burden was.
Like,
there's still a lot of
grunt
hardcore in your music in the burden. Sorry, Ron, I interrupted there.
Oh no, that was I just mentioned that Niels has this one really death metal growl or grunt in the first song, I think, which is I think it's so good.
What are the influences, for that first song? I'm hearing Cocteau Twins, but in the Netherlands, famously, you have that band Plan of Zymox, don't you? Who were credited with inventing darkwave. Yeah. Are they an influence on that first track?
I'm afraid not, because I guess me and Niels are the only two who know of Clan of Zymox. It's like the gothic, it's a bit more gothic than we do, but I do enjoy them. I think I wouldn't really know what the influences are, because we're with 5 different people and with 5 different musical influences and backgrounds. So that I think it's like a Frankenstein of different ideas and different influences.
Yeah, in my experience, when I interview artists, they don't want to be influenced by anything. They know what they like, and they're not consciously thinking, "Oh, this needs to sound like The Cure. This needs to sound like Oathbreaker." You just play, don't you?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I don't think we really do something new, but as I said, we like death metal, and we all come from like a hardcore background and more screamo. And Jesse, who wrote the first version of the song, he wrote the basis structure. He knew someone who played violin, and it would be cool to play viola on the track, because we didn't do that before. So then it's just kind of coincidence on coincidence, I guess. It's like, and the death metal thing just felt right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I just love the contrast in that song. Can I just ask, because there's only one EP to date from Ontaard, what are the origins of the band? When did you form, and what other bands did you play in before Ontaard?
So Ontaard is actually like my first real band that I've played in. I have like another small project together with Jordi and Marius from Throwing Bricks, so that's another like musical link. But this is like the first band that I've played in that really released music. And I think we started playing around 2020 or just before like 2020. We started rehearsing, and we had our first show in 2022. So exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's a good EP, that. 4 tracks. I was listening to it. It's a good title as well. So the title is I Am But My Flesh. And there seems to be a concept there, isn't there? It even says on the Bandcamp page, it's about how we allow ourselves to be used nefariously, our bodies to be abused. And you don't just mean that physically, do you?
No, it's the whole EP is indeed about like taking ownership over your body and losing ownership and taking it back. And it can mean in like the broader sense of how like a capitalistic landscape like will take ownership of your body, but also in abuse, in all sorts of form, how you can lose ownership over your body. Yeah.
Did you write the lyrics for that EP?
I did, yeah.
So your own. Did you present the music first to Shira and then say, write lyrics to this? Or did she present you with lyrics and you had to match the emotion of those lyrics?
It went the other way around. Normally I start writing a guitar riff and then I'll just send it in like a WhatsApp message, and then we'll get together and write I think like 90% of the song totally before Shira starts out with the lyrics. Like the song is almost finished and then she'll do the vocals on top of it. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shira, that for a while you'll just like say or growl or scream random stuff over the song so that the structure of the vocals kind of sort of sets into place, and then Shira will write lyrics, and sometimes that changes the entire song and sometimes it'll stay like the screams were at the start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You mentioned DB's, this famous venue in Utrecht. So let's imagine I'm visiting. Why do I need to go there? It just seems to be the place to be.
Why do you need to go there? Because
why do I need to go there? What other? I mean, because it's a rehearsal room as well, isn't it? It's a live venue, rehearsal room. Tell us in England why this place is such a cultural gem for the musical and art scene in your city.
Well, I think it's ongeëvenaard. There's nothing like it. Especially now, since there's basically not really a database at all, because they've been demolished and
they've moved to a new place, but it hasn't quite
rebuilt yet. But it's a really cute place. They got like 20 rehearsal rooms. They got a stage where they book like really great underground bands, and there's room for like the Dutch underground, for starting bands, for international underground. They also got like 1 million beers on tap and on draft.
They do like art exhibitions from local artists.
Oh, okay.
They have a really great vegan restaurant inside of it.
Yeah, it's like a really cool punk vibe to it, and where it feels like everything is possible, and no one really cares about rules, but about having fun, I guess.
And I've met
all
of my best friends from Utrecht I've met there, so
a place to be. See, same things happened to us. The nearby town of Hitchin in southeast England, we have a venue called Club 85, and that hosts a competition each year called Metal to the Masses, and the winner gets to play at that prestigious English festival, Bloodstock. And the same thing, the person who owns it, unfortunately, is selling it. So clearly it's in his interest to sell that for redevelopment into flats, to apartments, rather than to keep this amenity open. So they're going to do the same thing and relocate and it sounds like Daybase has done that as well. What was the reason for it closing down?
The same
Flats.
apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get why too, because it's on a prime real estate area in the city. But I think when they started out, it was promised that they would build apartments on top of it, but then keep their base. But then, development started, and they weren't into keeping their base at that same spot anymore.
But at least you've relocated it, though.
Yeah, and they'll move quite close by. And if everything goes according to plan, I think the most stuff should get better, but we'll have to see first.
So the famous graduates then of Daybase, throwing breaks, obviously, and Ontaard, but Tershi de Hoorde, they obviously grew up there, didn't they?
Yeah. They organized shows there as well. They also organized shows in the rehearsal rooms as well.
Oh, wow, what an experience.
Quite infamous footprints in the void. Correct me. Yeah, no one can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm probably wrong. But which isn't allowed anymore.
Probably for good reason.
If there's a fire, no one can get out. That's the...
Yeah, there's some pretty good reasons.
Yeah,
what about that band?
Reasons, I think.
What about, have you heard of a band called Grey Aura? They're from your city, aren't they? They are so strange. That is avant-garde metal.
That's
I remember reviewing that album where I was thinking, what is this? In a good way. I just could not compute what I was. It was like, this is so abstract. And even the artwork.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a surreal interpretation of Van Gogh. You look at the covers like, what? It's just so strange.
Yeah.
But which of the bands are they from there? I know a thrash band called Grunpad. I interviewed them.
Yeah.
Metal band. They're cool.
Yeah, they're also from Daybase. I don't know if Grey Aura rehearses in Daybase, but I've seen them before, obviously, because Utrecht isn't that big.
No, they have the same. Some members of Luster as well. They used to rehearse in Daybase, I think.
Yeah.
The Grey Aura shares members of Luster.
Oh, okay.
And they play in used to rehearse in Daybase.
Right. Yeah.
Is that right?
No, I don't think they share members, but
I need to look out for
who knows?
So what the other thing about Daybase, so do you know when those Belgian post-metal bands are touring the Netherlands, so Willa Menra and Oathbreaker and Predatory Void and all these bands, will they play Daybase when they come to Utrecht, or will it be a bigger venue?
Well, Predatory Void does, and Living Gate as well. Oathbreaker, I can only hope.
That might be
Amara will sell out Tivoli, like the big venue, easily. But they won't go to Daybase because Daybase is small.
What was the name of that band that did play Daybase last year with the bassist from Amara, Tim Gieter?
Doodskade.
Yeah, Doodskade, yeah.
Who was that? Sorry?
Oh, you're wearing the long sleeve right now. It's a Belgian band, Doodskade.
Doodskade. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Dudes means death, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's Death Squad.
Death Squad.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's really,
what is
really
it?
cool.
Metallic hardcore.
No, it's
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, sludge, and they mix sludge with hip hop. They're kind of influenced by trap metal and stuff.
Dude,
I really like. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, I've made a note of that. I like the T-shirt as well.
Thanks. I did the design as well.
Did you? Wow. Okay, so I think you've just hinted at what perhaps your job is, your day job. Are you a graphic designer?
Yeah, I'm a designer. I'm a motion designer. Yeah, like I'm a certain sort of animator.
Right. Are you freelance? Do you work from home? Are you self-employed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also designed the year one album cover for Doodskade. It's twofold. Yeah.
Sounds like you could be the illustrator or animator for the Netherlands post metal scene.
I'm quite on my way. Yeah, I'm quite on my way.
Let's go.
The big scene of the Dutch post metal scene.
the enormous post metal scene in in the Netherlands.
Well, it is though, isn't it? You know, the Benelux countries, Belgium and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Those bands you've mentioned are absolutely top tier in this form of performance art metal, really, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Even though there's absolutely no showmanship. Just whenever I see a post metal band, I remember interviewing an artist. He said, "We're so selfish when we play live because we need to get our emotions out, and we look at each other and we don't look at the audience, but we know that the intensity is just going to make people stand back, and they want that."
Yeah. Who said that?
It's a band from London that I interviewed. I can't remember which band, the bass player, what he's called. But I just thought it was really poignant the way he said that. Is that what a Throwing Bricks Ontaard show would look like if you play on the same stage?
Well, I do think like the selfishness, especially the first few shows we did, it really felt like a pure like trauma dump on stage, which can feel like you're like putting a burden on the audience. But then again, it does open up like so many discussion with like people like who came afterwards to shows to me, like just to tell their stories as well. So in that side, it was really nice. But I do like to make a lot of contact with the audience.
Oh, okay.
I like to stare at them a lot.
Yeah.
It's not easy when you're screaming at them most of the time, is it? Although you have to.
Yeah. Eye contact, prolonged eye contact and screaming. I like it.
And sometimes you get off the stage and go into the crowd.
Oh, wow. That takes some doing.
As if we're a real hardcore band.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always hardcore bands that do that, isn't it? Because they're so confrontational. I love that when I'm in the audience and they come in and they're windmilling and playing the bass or just screaming.
You're able to punch them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just make sure you know the lyrics if they pass you the microphone.
I mean, you could do with like.
So I think I'll pass this to you, Jeroen. Is there an overriding theme on this record? There's 2 songs by Throwing Bricks, there's a collaborative song, and there's 2 songs by Ontaard. Is there a common theme? The reason I ask, the song titles all involve, to me, images of human cruelty. They're really quite grim, the song titles alone, aren't they, on this EP?
I would like to pass this question right back to Shira, actually, because she did the lyrics. And like we did talk a lot about making this record and how we wanted to be to show how close all of us are together. But when we're talking about the lyrics and the content of the song, that's really Shira that did that. So she'll be much better at answering this question.
Shira, is there a common theme, certainly on the Ontaard songs? On this EP?
Yeah, and I think also like together with the themes of Throwing Bricks, like what we discussed like during the writing of it and afterwards was like the common theme is how we like to use music to get through dark times, so trauma, depression, so very like introspective dark times, like really the fights and the demons within yourself, basically, and how to get through that through community, through music, through finding each other, and through community, basically. And that's also why we like gathered so many friends to collab on this, and that's why it's a split. So the form in which we made the music really like coincides with the theme of the lyrics themselves.
Yeah, because Jordi, who writes lyrics for Throwing Bricks?
Well, I did for this record, but it's for this record I did mostly it's Niels, the vocalist.
Yeah.
And for this record, you had some specific subjects, and I guess our songs are more, not more. They're completely about depression and Selfish Symphony, I guess they're both from a different point of view. Like Abandon Me is from a self point of view, a personal point of view, and I guess something that you kind of deal with a lot when you're dealing with depression is the shame and guilt you feel towards other people. And so a Selfish Symphony is more imagined from a point of view from someone looking at someone in a depressive episode, like seeing someone decline or just watching someone decline. But yeah, the whole recurring repeating line is, I didn't do anything, watching our Rome burn down, like everything we've built together, like friendship and love and memories.
Yeah,
it's not a happy theme.
Well, that's why I'm a fan of Throwing Bricks. The Burden was a big album for me in 2022. I remember when that came out, so that would have been, I think it was October 22, wasn't it? When The Burden came out by Throwing Bricks.
Exactly.
And I remember at that time, I'd gone through a bit of a dark period, and every Monday and Wednesday, I'd just go out in the pitch black and just walk for 3 hours. And that seemed to be the album that I was playing. But I always remember that song midway through the album where you've got that woman who does the spoken word. Oh, is that you?
That's me.
Sorry, that woman. So, no, that just stands out for me, because I always know when I'm walking under this bridge that leads up to the supermarket, I've listened to that song at least 4 times walking under that bridge. So it's just a real good palate cleanser, that song, isn't it? Because the first 3 songs are just brutal on that album.
You mean the drone song like Softa, or you mean Half
One before? There's one before it, isn't there, where there's these clean guitar parts and it settles down, and then it could go into the drone song from there.
Yeah.
Which one are you on then, Shiro? Are you on the drone song then, or on that other one?
On both, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah, because there's continuity there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a real standout moment. I remember when I heard the first riff to that album and the downward palm muting of the guitar was so aggressive. I thought you were going to break your strings. That's, to me, that's hardcore. When you listen to a hardcore band and they do that technique, I'm like, oh wow, we're in for a real.
We're in for a ride. Well, thank you. That's really cool.
There's a real vulnerability to post-metal, isn't there? Right, on the surface, it appears really masculine and really aggressive, and like hardcore, it's anything but when you look at what it stands for. It's clearly. What was the guy from ISIS called? He said thinking man's metal, didn't he, to describe post-metal? Yeah. I think you could. Sorry, man. I think you could call it the overthinking man's metal. It's like you're living in your head and you just need to get everything out.
Yeah, I guess
I also think
that's exactly it. I think.
Yeah, it's a perfect vessel for like those. Yeah, for like spiraling, spiraling thoughts to get it all out of your system. And...
Yeah, you're wrong. Sorry, you're going to say something.
Yeah. No, I wanted to say that what I really like about post-metal and the very emotional side of all this is that really goes against like the old school masculinity and like toughness of it all, and that just really lets you feel all the stuff that all of us feel all the time, I think. But then in the music that we're all listening to anyways.
Yeah, I think I seem to listen to intense music. I don't really listen to that much death metal now. I'm bored by that. I've been listening to it for like 25 years. There's not much in that. I'm same with black metal. I don't really listen to much of that now. But post metal and sludge, because I think there is a lot of not even repressed. There's just a lot of trauma in that music, isn't there? So let's move on then. Can we go through? I'm going to choose 3 songs from the EP. We're going to go one that's credited to Throwing Bricks. We're going to go to one that you've both done, and then we'll choose an Ontaard song. So I'd like to start with track number 2, which is a Throwing Bricks song, Abandon Me. Well, thank you. You've given us an insight into that. And this is another moment where, as a writer, I had one of those epiphanies. I was listening to this song, and there's this part where the distortion kicks in, and then Neil's his vocals. It's like he's disemboweled himself. It's so painful, the way that he gets. I said it's like a wounded soldier with a bullet in his stomach, and it's as if it's like an indulgence of a gratuitous death fantasy.
That's the part where he also screams, "Tell everyone I love them," right?
Is it?
No, that's a different song.
Oh, that's a different song. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything.
Who does the female vocals on that? Because there's a great contrast where there's these harmonizing vocals. Is that you, Shira?
No, it's Kim from Vulva.
Kim from Vulva, right? Okay.
Yeah.
The duo. They're the bass, and there's a bit. She plays bass and sings, or is she the drummer and vocalist?
They play bass and sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check it out. I think you'd like them. They're if you like sludge, and they do sludge, and it's really quite noisy sludge. They use a lot of feedback, and two vocalists, and it's really cool. Yeah, but it's Kim who does the background vocals. Yeah,
good contribution. The melody at the start, that simple chord picking, those arpeggios, beautiful. Did I've not heard that on other Throwing Bricks records.
Well, no, that could be. There's a little thing we added. Like there's a guitar with, I think you call it Nashville tuning. Is where the lowest, the thinnest strings are tuned an octave up. I think that's what it is, and that's what kind of makes it like a sitar sound.
Ah, okay.
Like it's kind of flows. It's like two different guitar lines, both like going against each other. They both play something different, and that kind of creates some wavy texture.
A lot of reverb on it. To me, that invokes a nostalgic emotion, which you wouldn't, again, normally associate with Throwing Bricks. But maybe that's why you go absolutely berserk in the next section of that song. Because when that kicks in, I was thinking, I had to check. I was like, what's happened to this band? This is just a complete transformation. Yeah, the other I like the drummer in this as well. He's using the tom drums a lot, isn't he? You do get that like ritualistic, like a tempo change. So yeah, that's and a good heavy ending to that as well. So
yeah
I would say
it ends really doomy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said it's like the ending. It's like you feel like you're trapped in a marsh. You can't get it because it's so like boom, boom, like that. So I would say to our viewers, obviously check out all the tracks, but to me that's a standout. Abandon Me. I think that really grabbed me. The other one, track 3 then. So all of you have played on this. Blame Part 1. I've got it into my head. Is that a survivor of sexual abuse from the perspective of like a teenage girl?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Nail on the head.
Because like musically, has it got a cello in it as well with the clean guitar?
Yes, it's a viola. It's like an alt.
And alt violin, so viola. It's called.
Yeah.
So Jerome, are you sharing this with members of Throwing Bricks via WhatsApp? Your parts?
No, this wasn't even my part. This was Jordi's guitar line, and it was Johanna on the viola and Shira on vocals. I'm not even in it.
Okay.
Like it's not the two full bands. It's like separate members of both bands who wrote it together, but it's not everybody's on there.
Yeah, no, it's a good respite, even though clearly it's very dark. The subject matter, it is. Did you mean to make it quite soothing? Because to me, it's quite relaxing, and then when you listen to the lyrics, it's anything but. Is that
I think
deliberate?
we're always looking for like that juxtapose within music. So
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
just
mean,
caught me off guard. I was walking home from work and I was like, oh, here's a song where I can just immerse myself. And then I thought, go on, what are the lyrics saying? And then I took a step. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah, no, that's a great
Yes.
piece of art to that, and very, very poignant. So I want to choose the song, track number 4, to discuss for the Ontaard song. The title, to me, I just thought, is this a song about domestic abuse, spiraling on the kitchen floor? Am I right there, or is it? I might be wrong.
not even. It's like actually the lyrics is about just a state of just the moments like I wouldn't I don't know if to call it depression or like post-traumatic depression or but just like laying on the kitchen floor completely spiraling in your own head, not being
Oh,
able to
okay.
get up. It's very literal, actually, spiraling on the kitchen floor.
I've done that drunk, I think, once. No, not on the kitchen. I don't have ever done that, so I shouldn't be flippant about that. Yeah, with this, I remember this is what I wrote down. How do they extrapolate human fragility from this layering of noise? The female beauty of Shira van der Wouden's voice is the key, although this turns into a weapon of self-mutilation. Are you doing all the vocal parts in this song?
Yeah, did. And Marius recorded it, so we mixed it together and we did like so many different layers and parts, and we like and we went all kinds of directions and play with it in the studio, which was actually a lot of fun to make it as weird as possible.
Yeah.
You own on this one. It ends quite heavy doom metal type outro. What was the band that you were in before Ontaard? Because the vocalist, which is called Imen, she appears on one of the songs, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's appears on Blame Part 2.
Yeah.
And I think I wrote these songs, or I didn't write them by myself. I think I wrote the riffs, but that's like I think already like 3 or 4 years ago. So they are quite the riffs are already quite old. So what I was listening to, I know for me it's always a bit of Ameran. I think Doodseschade was already in there. I listened, sludge and post metal is like the simplest things that I would have been listening to at that time. I'm really terrible at just naming bands by heart. I think that. I'm trying to think. There was this band called Dimna Lotva that I really enjoyed, and there was this band from Romania. They also played Roadburn this year.
Catharos 13 by any chance?
No.
I'm gonna say you'd like them, that Romanian band, if you don't know them.
I'm going to try to see if I can find them really quickly. But
Yeah. Roadburn. Look what the Netherlands has given to the world. So and Roadburn.
Were you at Roadburn?
I've not been to. It's Tilburg, isn't it? Is that where it is? No.
Yeah, it is.
The equivalent here, we have that Arctangent Festival.
Yeah.
Seems to be similar curators. Black metal, post metal, hardcore, prog. Great
really
lineup.
Similar lineup most of the times.
Yeah, I think Roadburn's like that probably is the most prestigious. Probably is the most prestigious one in the world now, that isn't it? I mean obviously Hellfest in France and Rock am Ring, they're great. But when you look at the band, the artists that Roadburn played, they are finding all the bands, aren't they, who are going to be the next.
They have a very distinct vision, which I really appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What's this Romanian band called? Sorry.
I'm still looking. I thought okay,
we'll come back to that.
But then you got back to me, so let's.
So while you're looking for that, which of the two bands is most advanced in writing and recording their next record?
Ooh.
I think you guys are.
We've started with the pre-production already, but
yeah.
EP or an album?
Album
This time.
And
think
we're
we
also
wrote-
working on new. Yeah, we've got quite some material, but we're not really sure on how to make it an album. We've got like enough for 2 albums with two different directions, but both aren't nearly finished enough to even start recording. So I guess Ontaard is
Yeah. But we'll have to wait when Marius has time. So
yeah.
I think Turnbricks has his priorities.
Are you going to be sending that to Tartarus Records, the Ontaard album? Let them listen to it?
Well, definitely let them listen to it.
Good label, that, isn't it?
I think
Obviously.
we wrote all our songs, like where we will plan on adding one more. I think that we are busy writing like these couple weeks. We thought we were finished, but then now we're
There was
writing one
another
more.
riff coming from your hands, Jeroen. So.
Yeah, so now we're thinking, okay, let's just add that one more song. But we really should get like focused up and finish that thing.
You know which label you want to send it to? The guys from the Ocean Collective. Was it Pelagic Records?
Pelagic, yeah.
That'd be
crazy.
That will be cool.
Yeah.
You could do it. Yeah, exactly. Who are Oathbreaker? Are they signed to Relapse? Who are they signed to?
But I can imagine Relapse being a bit too...
Yeah, it's a blank code for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going off them on here. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, because Amenra are very influential, aren't they? Certainly on modern, along with Cult of Luna. Amenra and Cult of Luna seem to be the two, don't they? I'm sorry, I'm just intrigued. So they have a deal with. Oh, they're on Relapse. Amenra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. They don't seem to sign that many new bands, Relapse now. They're a bit like that English label, Earache Records. They don't seem to sign any new bands. Deathwish Inc. is the label. Is that their own label? Do we know?
Deathwish, no, it's
no. Oh, it's a hardcore, isn't it?
That wasn't Deathwish from Farge?
I'm
I
really
shouldn't be
not
naming. I shouldn't be naming
labels and stuff.
Deathwish. Yeah, sorry about that. So I have got one more question then. So we know that Ontaard are more advanced in writing the next record. So each of the bands have got the choice to record a split EP in the future with a dream artist. Who are you going to choose and why? You don't have to agree your own, and Shira, you can choose your own.
I think we can both say agriculture right now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. I was still, yeah.
They're a band I've not listened to.
Oh,
yeah, we saw them live on Roadburn this year. I listened to the record already a couple times before, but we saw them twice, once in the skate hall and once on the terminal stage, I think. And I was just blown away. It was crazy. I cried my eyes out at the next show, and I almost never. Yeah, it's black metal, but like
ecstatic black metal. They
very modern.
Ecstatic black metal.
Happy. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
they're really, really 100%.
Good. Where are they from? Which country?
America, I think.
I think from the US, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like that band Health. I think the name, when I just look at the name of the band, it almost puts me off. I'm just thinking, what is this? They're called Agriculture. I should obviously you've got to listen to it, haven't you, before you make a judgment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You should give it a try.
I will.
Health is also very good.
Yeah, they are. They did a track with Trent Reznor, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yordi, go on.
Yeah, fuck.
Maybe choose 3 and then narrow it down to 1. You can give
name 3 and narrow it down to 1. All right.
Yeah. So we know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I can name 3. Like, I think Amara obviously is like a huge influence on all of us. Because if I speak for all of Throwing Bricks, I think Amara would be there. If you ask me right now, probably it's some Pantley.
Oh, that Death Doom band from America.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. And
Some Panther, yeah.
and if you just ask me, it's probably Bong Ripper.
Probably who, sorry?
Bong Ripper.
Bong
Like the
Ripper, that
instrumental doom band.
doom
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, but they're kind of more interested in doing a split with Taylor Swift at the moment.
That'd be amazing.
What, for real?
Well, yeah, if you can believe their Instagram, but
See, there are some bands
would
who
listen
have
to them.
celebrity fans, like that band Knocked Loose.
yeah,
Billie Eilish and people like that cite them as one of their favourite bands. I mean, they're a great band. They're a fantastic hardcore band. It's just, how are they getting so much traction?
I don't know. I don't know. You tell me.
It's impressive. But
I'd do a split with Billie Eilish.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't mind.
I do.
I think it's very modern
loose
thing
if we
to
get
not
some
care about
traction
genres
from it.
anymore as well.
what's
Sorry?
that, you on?
I think it's very like modern where people don't really care about genres anymore and will just listen to whatever, and people work together with whatever they like. And you love seeing it because it just makes like new and original types of music, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So what I'm going to say to our viewers, go and buy the new Split EP on Bandcamp. I'm assuming is probably the best place, isn't it? Or should they go to your website?
Well, it's available on Bandcamp. It's available on Tartarus Records.
Of course. Tartarus, yeah.
Or just come to our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to get to the Netherlands. I've driven through it, so
Yeah.
yeah. I was intending to go to a couple of years ago, pre-COVID. I was going to go to Arkham, then
Yeah.
Maastricht, and then what's the other? And there's a French city, isn't there? I was going to go to all three: Arkham, Maastricht. No, it was, and I can't remember the other one. But obviously, I didn't do it. Maybe I should go for where is the Soul Crusher Festival held?
Nijmegen.
Nijmegen. Right. Okay.
That's
And
awesome.
then-
You should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tilburg for obviously the main
Roadburn. Yeah, it's a
For
few
Roadburn, you
months
should
in
stay a
between.
while then. One is in October, one in April, I think. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
so the
if you
EP
walk.
you can imagine that. So the EP is called Udzia. Just remind me, what does that translate as in English? Does it translate?
Don't think so.
Old sorrow, old
Yeah.
pain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like memories you rather don't have, but you do.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
stuck with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Tartarus Records, one of the most prestigious underground labels. Certainly, if you like your black metal and post metal and avant-garde experimental
Noise,
music,
yeah.
not just metal, dark forms of music. So yeah, whenever I get something in my inbox, I will normally review it if it's from Tartarus because I've got a lot of respect for that label and the bands on their roster. So thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and please make sure that I do get an advanced stream or copy of the Ontaard album. I guess that's going to be 2025, is it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably
Excellent. Yeah, and
Thank
then
you.
throw in bricks. The PR guys that handle your music, if you don't change, then I'm going to get yours anyway. So looking
I
forward
know
to
how to find you.
yeah. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you taking the time to come and speak to me.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks so much.